So the Smart Farm Network is really all about connecting the smart farm initiatives across Canada to accelerate our learnings and our ability to support SMEs and other stakeholders within the industry to develop, to scale, to validate, and to understand how ag technologies can be deployed within Canada across our varied growing regions and ecosystems. So Eastern Canada ag looks different from Western Canada ag, and we want to be able to address or support development of technologies across the country. So this network is really about creating linkages, accelerating the communication and information sharing among the sites, so that we can skip some of the lessons learned the hard way by learning lessons learned from Eastern Canadian smart farm instances, or even smart farms right within our own province if they have worked with a technology last year that we're thinking about deploying on our farm this year. So it's really about creating those linkages, also connecting or helping to accelerate the connections that industry can make with smart farms that might be a better fit for their technology development or validation purposes. So rather than them trying to have to figure out where to go, they can come to one of the smart farm network sites and learn who's who has what infrastructure, and who has what expertise to really help them build out their idea, validate their idea, and then ultimately demonstrate it to producers. So the origins of the Smart Farm Network really predate my time at Olds College. So I believe up to 5 years ago, it was initially conceptualized as part of the Smart Ag Supercluster application that Olds College was a part of, as well as Lakeland College and a few other industry stakeholders. It was really conceptualized as a way to accelerate the development and commercialization and adoption of ag technologies, because 5 and 10 years ago really was when this ag technology boom was happening or initiating. Unfortunately, the supercluster application wasn't successful, but the players were still there, and they were still at the table when CAAIN was first being conceptualized and developed and funded. And so the Smart Farm Network was really one of those carryover projects that was a really good fit for what CAAIN's mandate was as well. And it rolled over into an application to CAAIN and was ultimately funded. I'm sure every project has been impacted by COVID, and the Smart Farm Network development was no exception. So everything just kind of slowed down. We figured out how to communicate and share virtually, as almost everyone else did, but everything just slowed down because of COVID. So there wasn't nearly as much progress made with the in-field work that we were hoping to do in 2021. We still made some tremendous progress on data collection and information sharing and expertise building, I guess, with respect to climate, soil, and crop sensors. So each site was able to successfully deploy a number of these sensor suites. But everything just is slow, and the churn as well of individuals and key members at each of the sites has been a challenge. Um, I guess getting our feet under us even at Old College, try to keep up with the momentum, in terms of recruiting the team and the people that we needed to support the Pan Canadian Smart Farm Network development took longer than expected, partly because of COVID, partly because of a number of other things. So it's just we weren't able, I guess, to mobilize as quickly as we had hoped, but we are slowly catching up to where we wanted to be with respect to our timeline. And so some of the wins, I guess, or some of the great moments or things that we got to celebrate this year was the official launch of the Smart Farm Network in June was tremendously well received, and within a week or two of that launch, had probably six to eight direct reach outs from facilities that were interested in joining the network or wanted to know more about what was the process to join the network. So it was tremendous to see that kind of uptake and interest in the network, because obviously they see the value in that kind of connection and being able to integrate with some of the other smart farm instances within Canada. And then, the fact that we were actually able to meet and present at AgSmart this year. So it really it was sort of the luck of the draw, I guess, when AgSmart was timed to be in early August, that restrictions were lifted enough that we were able to have an in-person event. And so we were able to present. All three sites were represented there. So Lakeland College, Olds College, and Glacier Discovery Farm all had representatives at AgSmart. We got to present. We had some key stakeholders in the audience, including some potential industry partners that really walked out of that tent with their minds buzzing about how they would be able to leverage the Smart Farm Network to help them build their brand and develop their technologies and scale their technology. So it was really great to see that and really validate, I guess, the whole existence of the Smart Farm Network and all the work that's gone into it to date. Well, the project wouldn't exist without CAAIN funding, essentially, and it was really, the whole I guess origin story of the Smart Farm Network came around the discussion about what CAAIN was going to be back when the original proposal was being drafted for ISED Stream 4 funding, right? And um, again, like I said, because of the conversations that have been had at the supercluster phase years ago, it carried over into those discussions about what CAAIN could be, and that concept of a smart farm and smart farm network really sort of formed part of the core of what CAAIN was going to be. So I mean, Smart Farm Network is as important to CAAIN as CAAIN funding is for the Smart Farm Network. I guess it's sort of reciprocal arrangement or relationship. But basically, yeah, we wouldn't exist without CAAIN funding. So it's tremendously, I guess, satisfying to know that there was a funding mechanism that was built to support this type of activity, because it is so sorely needed in the industry. So tremendously grateful for our industry supporters as well, who are, putting cash on the table to help with the overall development of this network. So thanks to them as well. Glacier Farm Media, Metos Canada, MNP, and then ATB and UFA.